Hello and welcome to this team report today. We built another regional winning team, and with us, I mean myself, obviously, Ibrahim Maarouf, Kusha Kanani, Rahim Farzan, and Alexander Ubaghs. We as a group, us five, built this team to win the Utrecht Special event with, and the team had other phenomenal results as well, like another top 4 finish and another top 64 finish. And over in Portland, the team was also used with a slightly different version, but it's still technically the same team, and it finished 3 times in top 32. And in the latest Victory Road tournament, my exact team, or our exact team, also finished second place. So it's a team you have to keep in mind when you want to build a Regulation I team for now, or if you want to use it yourself, feel free to listen to this team report today. Also, if I sometimes say I or I say us, it's always the whole group, okay? So if I say it was me, it's the entire group. You can find their Twitters in the description below as well. I really love my friends, and without them, I probably would have not been able to win another regional. Anyways, let's start with the team. I will first explain all the sets and spreads, and then we will talk about some matchups as well. So let's start right into it. So first of all, Calyrex Ice. This Calyrex Ice spread is a little different from something you usually see. First, we are running a Leech Seed Leftovers Calyrex Ice instead of a more common Clear Amulet high horsepower set, and the reason for that is to beat the Pokemon that otherwise just sit in front of Calyrex, where you cannot do anything. For example, Lunala and Zamazenta. And the cool part about this Calyrex Ice is also that if you remove one certain threat to this Calyrex Ice, let's say the only option your opponent has to hit Terra Water Calyrex Ice with is a Maridon, and you KO the Maridon turn 1 or turn 2, your Calyrex Ice can just win a 1v3 as well because of Leech Seed. We can set up Trick Room for other Pokemon like Shifu or Landeris, and we in general stay on the field for long because we have Intimidate support, we have Screen support on Grimnar, and that makes this Calyrex Ice so dangerous. The EV spread, I know that some Calyrex Ice with this set play an impish nature just to be even more bulky, but we prefer to run 36 Adamant because with 36 Adamant you are able to one-hit KO Maridon if it doesn't have any HP investment, and that was pretty important because Maridon is a big threat to the team. I mean, take a look at our team. We have 3 fairy weaknesses, no resist, so Terra Fairy Dazzling Gleam is actually very scary. And that leads me to the next point. Our investment, 252 HP, 196 special defense, makes sure that you survive. Terra Ghost Astral Barrage as well as Life Orb Astral Barrage from Calyrex Shadow Rider. You survive a Choice Specs Water Spout from Kyogre. You survive a modest max special attack Choice Specs Electro Drift, and you survive Terra Electric Electro Drift paired with Spirit Break if the Grimnar is intimidated. Like, you know, the regional winning team from Milwaukee has this Assault Vest Maridon, and you survive -1 Spirit Break plus Terra Electric Electro Drift from Assault Vest or Choice Scarf Maridon, which is also pretty cool. And you survive, what was it? Electro Drift Brave Bird from Ho-Oh and Maridon. Usually they can double tap you with Electro Drift Sacred Fire, but we thought that if we condition our opponent to click Sacred Fire, we can maybe switch into Incinore. And that's why we wanted to survive that combination. And 20 speed is also pretty cool because you do not want to be min speed because you have a T-Wave mode with Grimnar and outspeeding stuff like Modest Kyogre Paralyzed, as well as the Choice Band Urshifu spread from the tanks really was really valuable, and that's why we decided to run 73 speed. That way we can maybe outspeed some Iron Hands as well, and double tap them with Terra Fairy, Dazzling Gleam and Glacial Lance. Also, I didn't prepare a script or something like that, so I'm just trying to do everything in my head. If I forget something, I hope you don't mind that. But let's get to the next Pokemon, the Maridon. And the special part about this Maridon is that it is a choice specs, very bulky Maridon. Aditya Supermanian used this Maridon, or a very similar spread to choice specs Maridon, to get into top 16, I think, in Milwaukee with. And yeah, I really like this very, very bulky Maridon because you can take so many moves. You can take a +4 Astral Brush behind Light Screen from Life Orb Shadow Rider. You can take, that was pretty important. If we go Terra Fairy, we survive an Electro Drift from Timid Maridon. And if we go no Terra, we survive a Terra Fairy Dazzling Gleam, which also means if we go Terra Fairy, we survive 2 Terra Fairy Dazzling Gleam from Choice Specs Maridon. And that's what the special bulk technically is for. The special attack is the first bump Maridon can get. The defense is also pretty good because we can survive a Glacial Lance from Ice Rider, as well as Life Orb Jolly Close Combat from Koraidon is a 6% chance to one-hit KO with Maridon. So that also really helps out in the Koraidon Lunala matchup, for example, to maybe take a Life Orb boosted Close Combat from Koraidon. The speed is pretty cool because the tank spread had 158 speed on the Maridon, I think. So we thought, okay, we want to really outspeed this Maridon, so we should run 160-ish. But then some people creep the old Maridon with 2 points, so it's 161. And then we thought, okay, wait a second. The Terrapagos Shadow Rider matchup is not bad, but it would really, really help out if our Maridon outspeeds Ogerpon. And we made a little gamble, like, as you can see, we do not outspeed every Ogerpon, but we outspeed Adamant Ogerpon, and that was really helpful because Adamant Ogerpon has 162 speed. And then I had that little thought that some of the Maridon might creep exactly on that and they run 163 speed, as well as some Zamazenta might run 163 speed, and that's why we have 164. Because did you also know that there are 3 other Pokemon that had actually exactly 163 speed? Those are Jolly Solgaleo, Timid Lunala, as well as Jolly Urshifu. And the first 2 are not that common, but Jolly Urshifu could happen somewhere. And being sure to outspeed those Urshifu felt really nice, and that's why we decided to run 164 speed in the end. I tried a very fast Maridon 1 week before Utrecht, and it felt terrible, so I really recommend running this bulky Maridon. Next up, we've got Grimnar. Grimnar is not too special. It is just EV to survive a Moonblast from Fluttermane. That was the most important calc. The remaining EVs we put into defense. 82 speed because that is pretty cool because if we see that Maridon outspeeds something like Zamazenta, like Ogerpon, after a Thunder Wave, Grimnar would outspeed those Pokemon as well, because Pokemon up to 163 speed, if they get paralyzed, they drop to 81, and we have 82. So we outspeed those, so we get the information with Maridon and Grimnar for later games as well. And also outspeeding other Grimnar could be nice, because we could double tap them with Road Switch Spirit Break, for example, or Sludge Bomb Spirit Break, Surging Strike Spirit Break, all that stuff, and that's why 12 speed was pretty good on the Grimnar. We also thought about running Scary Face on the Grimnar instead of Thunder Wave, because Scary Face actually helps out a ton in the Trick Room matchup, obviously, because you can side Scary Face your Calyrex Ice to suddenly outspeed Min Speed Iron Hands, Min Speed Ursaluna in Trick Room. And you can also Scary Face opposing Maridon, which would otherwise be immune to Thunder Wave. In general, there's a lot of counterplay running around against Thunder Wave currently. Terra Dark, or Dark types in general, Electric types, Ground types. But in the end, Thunder Wave is still better than Scary Face, at least that's what we thought, because paralyzing Koraidon is a big deal, and if Koraidon runs the clear amulet item, Scary Face doesn't work against that, so that's a little scary. And another advantage for Thunder Wave is that it sticks. Your opponent switches out, but they still keep the speed drop, and that helps out a ton. And then the question was Spirit Break or Foul Play, and it was more of a decision of like Spirit Break or Play Rough, actually, because Play Rough deals more damage, which can get pretty important against some Maridon, for example. But in the end, we decided to run Spirit Break because Foul Play is not needed. We have a pretty good Kelly Ice matchup with Shifu, Incinore, our own Kelly Ice, and Spirit Break really helps out against those special attackers like Shadow Rider. For example, Terra Dark Shadow Rider is really a headache, and that's why I really recommend running Spirit Break. Play Rough, as I said, for extra damage is also not bad, but missing, I don't like missing. But yeah, next up we've got Urshifu, and this Urshifu is elite for a lot of stuff. First of all, Choice Band Urshifu is amazing. I said before that in Portland there was a slightly different version that had 3 top 32 finishes. This Urshifu is really good into the Terrapagos matchup, because what I wanted to say originally is that in Portland, the players used Choice Scarf coaching Urshifu instead of Choice Band. But with Choice Scarf Urshifu, you have a really, really bad time into Terrapagos. But Choice Band Urshifu makes this Terrapagos matchup so much easier, because we survive a lot of stuff with a special defense investment, and we hit a lot of Pokemon for super effective damage. I will talk about the Terrapagos matchup a little more into detail after I talked about the spreads, okay? So first of all, what do the 196 attack do? Why is it 196? Why not less? It cannot be more because the other points were needed somewhere else. But why 196? Urshifu can be brought against the Koraidon teams. And this Urshifu, after one life orb take from Koraidon, it has a 50% chance to KO Koraidon with close combat. And if your opponent goes for a Terrafire Flare Blitz into Grimnar, that's something I think a lot of players would do. Then the Koraidon is always in range for Surging Strikes if they are Terrafire, or close combat if they are not Terrestrialized. But you also get the KO on Flutter Mane in the Sun. Focus Sash Flutter Mane in the Sun with 4 HP investment, you have a 86% chance to KO those. If you want 188 adamant or less, you only have, I think it was a 4% chance to KO Flutter Mane. So that is pretty cool. You can catch a lot of people off guard because they think, okay, they have Sun up. Urshifu should not KO the Flutter Mane, but it actually does. So that is pretty cool. You KO most Ogre upon Cornerstone. Pretty much every Ogre upon Cornerstone, honestly. Some are EV'd for Terra Water Searching Strikes, but not for Choice Band Searching Strikes with that kind of investment. So that's what the attack is for. And the HP Special Defense combination is to survive. Okay, let me think. It was Astral Barrage from Life Orb Shadow Rider after one Rocky Helmet chip from like U-turn or maybe close combat, and when you switch out, you reset your death stats. But you survive a Life Orb, Astral Barrage plus Rocky Helmet. You survive Specs Astral Barrage as well as Terra Ghost Astral Barrage. As you can hear, a lot of Astral Barrage calcs. You survive Terra Starstorm plus another Terra Starstorm if they are +1. Like the first Terra Starstorm does like 39, and then the second one after a close combat or after a combat does 59 max. So you survive this combination. And you also survive a 116 Adamant Grassy Glide from Rillaboom, as well as Zamazenta's Sword of Ruin boosted Body Press. That's why we have 108 HP and not like 60 HP and 230 special defense, okay? That's why we need a little bit of physical bulk as well. And then the remaining 20 we put into speed. I wish we could have put one more into speed because, spoiler, our Incinore has 123 speed, our Lando has 122. And I had a match where my Incinore and my Landeris were faster than an opposing Lunala, and then I bet my entire game plan on my Urshifu also outspeeding the Lunala, and then the Lunala outsped my Urshifu, which was a little unfortunate. But the regional winning team from Milwaukee had 119 speed Lunala, and that's why we decided also to run 120. It was the remaining points we had left, and running 118 did not feel right, and that's the Urshifu. It felt really, really, really good, honestly. One of my favorite Pokemon to use with Choice Band Urshifu. I just love Choice Band as an item because, fun fact, both Worlds and the 3 regionals I won, I had one Choice Band Pokemon. The first Worlds was Dragapult, the second Worlds was Entei, the first regional was with Choice Band Rillaboom, my second regional win was with Choice Band Urshifu Single Strike, and now with Choice Band Urshifu Rapid Strike. So if I don't run Choice Band, I perform not so well. So yeah, if you face me in the future, be prepared for a Choice Band. Anyways, the next Pokemon is the Assault Vest Incinore, and it was amazing. I'm telling you, Max Speed Incinore was one of the best pieces on the team because suddenly, from having like usually people run Iron Hands on these kind of teams with Maridon, with Kelly Ice, it makes sense. But then you have this slow fake out. You are slower than Incin, you are slower than Rillaboom, you might be slower than opposing Iron Hands. But what if you have Incineroar, which outspeeds all 3 of those? Technically not Rillaboom, because Rillaboom has more base speed, but every Rillaboom we faced was not as fast as this Incineroar, and it was so good. Also, being faster than Lunala was so good. Like, getting the knockoff off before they can move was insane. I'm telling you, Max Speed Incineroar was so much fun. We thought about Max Speed Rocky Helmet first, but then you are literally missing the bulk, and that's why we put Assault Vest on the Incin. I love Assault Vest as well, and this Incin survives Timid Electro Drift most of the time. Modest Choice Specs Maridon, I think, has a 50% chance to KO this Incineroar. You should survive, or not you should survive, but you survive 2 Terra Fairy boosted Dazzling Gleams from Choice Specs Maridon. And the defense investment is actually pretty important for the Maridon matchup again. You survive a -1 close combat from Life Orb behind Reflect. So if you set up Reflect with Grimnar and then you intimidate with Maridon, you survive a move. We were really scared of Maridon, and that's why we wanted to add some tags against that. Also, the defense obviously helps out against Calyrex Ice Rider as well. Or Urshifu, if you go Terra Grass, they do less damage. So overall, this spread felt amazing. I really recommend it. You can also run more special defense and less defense if your Maridon matchup is fine, but better safe than sorry. I faced 0 Maridon that weekend, so I could have had probably a better spread, but I really liked the Incin overall. So yeah, you still survive a close combat from Urshifu, even without Reflect, because of the Intimidate. Helps a lot against a single strike especially. And last but not least, we've got Landeris. And this Landeris was so good. Because as you can see, the Incinore is faster than Landeris and Urshifu. That is so good because you can go for knockoff plus Surging Strikes into one slot, and if you are scared of a Rocky Helmet Pokemon to switch into that slot, the Incinore knocks off the Rocky Helmet before you get the Surging Strikes off, so you get a lot of damage onto the Pokemon. It doesn't matter if it is Amoonguss, Incin, or Tornadus, I don't know. That really helps out a ton to knock before you go for Surging Strikes, but the interaction with Landeris to knock before you go for Earth Power is also good against Assault Vest Pokemon like Iron Hands. Yeah, this Landeris, amazing. What does the Special Defense Invest do? It helps out against Shadow Rider if you decide to run to bring Landeris against Shadow Rider, but most importantly, it helps against Maridon. We wanted something that's good into Terra Fairy Dazzling Gleam spam. First we thought about Ursaluna, but Ursaluna doesn't really help against Terra Fairy Dazzling Gleam spam, but Terra Poison Sludge Bomb Landeris actually does. And it helps against pretty much every Maridon, because against Dazzling Gleam you have Terra Poison, against Electro Drift you are Ground type, and if they go for Draco Meteor, first they are locked into Draco Meteor if they are choice specs. Second, like, you can abuse that with your Grimnar, with your Terra Fairy Maridon, and they like do not switch out. And it's really good. Like, the trade-off of getting Dracos on your Lando, losing your Lando, but they are locked into Draco, suddenly it can just win you the game. And you can also survive a Specs Draco if you set up a light screen with Grimnar. And from the regional winning team from Milwaukee, the Assault Vest Maridon, or also Choice Scarf Maridon, you take a Draco, even without light screen. And that is insane. Like, they think, okay, I KO this Lando with Draco. No, boom, you survive, you get an Earth Power off, they are -2 trapped on the field, they did not KO the Lando. Game changer. And we still have enough like, the 4 defense actually are also very important, because that way you survive choice band Surging Strikes if you go Terra Poison. And the 160 Modest, it's a jump point, which is pretty cool, and it is also very good to KO Urshifu with, because 4 HP, 4 Speed F Maridon, 4 HP, 4 Speed F Urshifu actually feints to an Earth Power from this Landeris, and that's why this spread is probably the best spread we ever made. And you might be surprised to see Taunt instead of Sensei Storm, and Sensei Storm is nice, but you definitely need Earth Power, Sludge Bomb, and Protect. And Taunt makes the Milwaukee winning team so free, because suddenly their game plan with Trick Room or White Guard on the Lunala doesn't work anymore. So you can prevent Trick Room from going up, and if they bought Ursaluna, they have to fight with Ursaluna without Trick Room. And if you taunt the Lunala, Terra Fairy Dazzling Gleam against that Milwaukee regional winning team looks crazy. You can just spam Terra Fairy Dazzling Gleam Glacial Lance with Kelly as Maridon, and that's why Taunt is so valuable on the Landeris. But yeah, I already started speaking about the Milwaukee regional winning team. There you can just lead with instant Lando. You can fake out the one slot and taunt the Lunala. As I said, you survive an Assault West Draco Meteor from Maridon, and you bring Maridon Kelly Ice in the back. The matchup is so good. I really recommend you watching the round 8 match where Ibrahim Maarouf played against Marco Maras. Marco used the regional winning team from Milwaukee, so a prime example on how good the matchup actually is. Then there's obviously, I will just talk through some common matchups. Against Kelly Ice Maridon, it depends on the Kelly Ice Maridon version, but your Maridon looks phenomenal there, especially with the Incinore. Maridon and Incinore look amazing. You obviously bring your own Kelly Ice because you can beat the opposing Kelly Ice with Leech Seed, and you have a Glacial Lance against the Maridon. And then you have to choose between Lando and Shifu. Lando, way better against Maridon. Shifu, way better against Kelly Ice. It kind of depends on how your opponent plays the game, how you play the game, because if you remove the Maridon early on, you really want Shifu. You want to have Shifu in the back. But if you remove the Kelly Ice early on, you want Landeris in the back. I am like in between. It is very hard to say which one is better. You can definitely bring both, but I'm not a big fan of Grimnar in that particular matchup. Next up, we've got Terrapagos Shadow Rider, and against Terrapagos Shadow Rider, it depends on the Shadow Rider set. If they have Will-O-Wisp, and Urshifu lead is not that great. If they have Encore Disable, Protect, Astral Barrage, you can just lead Incinore, Urshifu, you bring Maridon, Kelly in the back, and it's free. It's literally Omega free. And if they have Will-O-Wisp or Psychic, you should try to get a Trick Room up with Kelly Ice and then try to win with Urshifu. And that's another matchup where you do not bring Grimnar. You can bring Grimnar because you can paralyze the Shadow Rider, paralyze the Terrapagos, and then get opportunities to go into Urshifu and then grab those KOs as well. But I do not like to miss out on Kelly Ice. I do not like to miss out on Incin or on Maridon. And that's why I think the best line is Incin, Shifu, if they don't have, if they have like Anchor Disable. If they don't, you lead Kelly Ice Incin and bring Maridon Shifu in the back. Felt really, really good. I'm a big fan of that game plan, and yeah, very, very good matchup for us. And next up, we've got what else is very common? Shadow Rider Zama. Shadow Rider Zama was rough, I'm telling you. I beat most Shadow Rider Zamas. If they have like Sash Shadow Rider and it's more of a Zamazenta approach, I usually did Incin Kelly Ice lead, clicked Fake Out Trick Room, and then I tried to win with Urshifu and Maridon in Trick Room. Sometimes I also bought Landeris instead of Urshifu, but that's the most basic line against Shadow Rider Zama. If you face a nasty plot Shadow Rider, I like to lead with Incin and Kelly Ice, and I bring Grimnar and Marion in the back, as you can see in the finals of Utrecht. Urshifu, a well-positioned Urshifu can also be good, but positioning it is pretty hard. But you can definitely also bring Urshifu. Landeris is not that good, even though it hits both Willow-Boom and Incinore for super effective damage. It can get fake outed. The Shadow Rider gets a free nasty plot, and then you are already threatened to, or getting threatened to get knocked out. So that's why Maridon is actually the better Landeris, kind of. I'm trying to think about more matchups. I guess Kyogre Zacian. That's why we had Terra Water Ice Rider. You just try to set up Trick Room, and then you go to Urshifu and you win. So Incin Kelly Ice lead with Urshifu Maridon back again works pretty well. That is like the most basic line. Incin Kelly Ice, Urshifu Maridon is the best line you can technically go for in most matchups. Landeris is just there to fix some Maridon matchups, and Grimnar is just there to maybe fix some Shadow Rider matchups. So yeah, this is like one of my favorite lines. Just instant Kelly Ice, fake out Trick Room, Glacial Lens U-turn, Glacial Lens Surging Strikes GG. It sounds easier than it actually is, but some games really went that way. So yeah, well, what should I say? Let me see if I can find like another matchup. I will not talk about the Ho-Oh matchups because I think Ho-Oh is pretty cap and not something you should actually you should not worry about it in the team building. But yeah, against Maridon, Lunala, you can lead Grimnar, Kelly Ice, and bring Maridon Instant in the back. You can lead Grimnar, Kelly Ice, and you bring Shifu, Maridon in the back. You can lead Grimnar, Maridon, and bring Kelly Ice Instant, or Grimnar, Maridon, and Shifu, Kelly Ice. So, did I say Shifu, Kelly Ice? Or the first 5 Pokemon are very good in that matchup. Like, Landeris is also not bad, but I prefer the other 5 way more. Because Grimnar is especially good in that matchup because you get a T-Wave off onto something or a screen, which is really, really hard to deal with for the Maridon Lunala teams. And against Kyogre teams, I talked about Kyogreization, but now that Kyogre Kelly Ice won a regional as well. The Kyogre Kelly Ice team that Gavin Michaels used to win the regional with, it cannot really, like the team cannot really hit water types, so Terra Water Kelly Ice is amazing. And you paired with Maridon. Your Maridon survives the Terra Fairy Moonblast from Fluttermane as well. I haven't said that yet, but yeah, you just lead Maridon, Kelly Ice, and you easily win the game. Like Maridon, Kelly Ice, Urshifu, Instant, no issues there. Against Dondozo teams, what you try to do is to force in the Dozo and try to leech seed it with Kelly Ice, and then it's also just game. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this rather quick team report. I think the team is one of the top teams in Regulation I. I know I said that the team was terrible, but it actually is not. It has some very simple lines, and that makes it accessible for everyone. You can find the rental and the paste in the description below as well. And yeah, let me know if I should do more reports like this, maybe also on teams that I haven't used myself. Maybe I should do those on other top teams. Feel free to write that in the comments as well. That being said, I will see you next time. Bye bye.